Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer where we are going to separate medical folklore from rigorous nutritional science. Look, aging is inevitable, but how we age, our vitality, our cognitive health, and preventing things like dangerous falls by maintaining our balance is largely in our control. Today, we're uncovering the habits of super-agers, those incredible people who stay sharp and active well into their 80s and 90s. We'll be sifting through fact, fiction, and exactly what to put on your plate for the long haul. Here's what we're covering today. First, we'll bust some medical myths, then tackle a silent cardiovascular threat, dive into heart-healthy foods, the literal power of nuts, the science behind garlic, and finally, how to navigate health info online. Let's get right to it. Part 1. Debunking common medical myths. Okay, so do people actually shrink as they get older? We've all heard this, right? Usually from a grandparent complaining their pants are suddenly way too long. But is that just a visual illusion caused by changes in posture? Or is there real, physical, medical science behind getting shorter as the years go by? Well, guess what? It is absolutely true. It's not just your imagination. As we age, the physical space between the vertebrae, those individual bony bumps that make up your spine, actually decreases over time. And this compression can literally shrink you by a full inch or two. It's a pretty fascinating, if slightly shrinking reality of the human body. Moving on to a hydration rule we practically treat as gospel. Do you strictly need 8 glasses of water per day? We all lug around those massive water bottles trying to hit that magic quota. But does the medical data actually back up that exact number for every single person? Actually, not necessarily. The reality is, there's just no magic one-size-fits-all number. Your body absolutely needs steady fluids, but the exact amount heavily depends on your climate, your activity level, and even your genetics. The easiest science-backed test? Honestly, if your urine is light or clear, you are doing just fine. All right, part 2, the silent cardiovascular threat. Now, this is a big one. 1 in 3 American adults currently has high blood pressure or hypertension. And the truly scary part? It is completely silent. I mean, literally 0 warning signs. So many people walking around have absolutely no idea they even have it. And we really need to pay attention here. Because when elevated blood pressure teams up with abnormal cholesterol, the damage to your arteries, kidneys, and heart accelerates exponentially. It acts like sandpaper on the inside of your arteries. Leaving these silent numbers unchecked actively speeds up the aging of your most vital organs. That's why regular checks are your absolute best defense. Which brings us to part 3, heart-healthy fruits and veggies. Think of your diet as your armor. We've got our top dietary defenders right here. Leafy greens like spinach and kale are packed with nitrates to relax and widen those blood vessels. Berries? They are loaded with antioxidants to fight oxidative stress. And here's the really cool part. Rigorous science links these specific foods directly to better brain power and significantly lower cognitive decline. Pair those with fiber-rich whole grains for healthy cholesterol and omega-3s from oily fish to fight off damaging internal inflammation. Doing this can lower your cardiovascular risk by up to 26%. Now, you don't just eat these in isolation. They actually form the foundation of 2 powerhouse diets, the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet. The Mediterranean approach is very plant-based, leaning heavily on fish, poultry, olive oil, and nuts. DASH, on the other hand, stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, focusing on fresh produce, lean proteins, low-fat dairy, and strictly limiting sweets. Both approaches cut way back on added sugars. Adopting one of these structured dietary patterns, and, by the way, pairing it with daily physical balance exercises is proof that it's never too late to reverse premature aging and protect your independence. Part 4. The power of nuts. Okay, check this out. A major Australian review looked at rigorous clinical trials and found that just a 30-gram handful of nuts a day significantly reduces all 6 of these critical heart disease risk factors. We're talking lower bad LDL cholesterol, lower total cholesterol, lower triglycerides, and reduced apolipoprotein B. Plus, it lowers both systolic and diastolic blood pressure and actually increases flow-mediated dilation, which basically means your blood vessels are healthier and more responsive, all from a simple daily handful of nuts. Moving on to part 5, the science of garlic.
So, while raw garlic is obviously fantastic for daily cooking, scientists have actually zeroed in on something far more concentrated. They're heavily researching a nutraceutical supplement called aged garlic extract, or AGE. It's been put through the ringer in double blind, placebo controlled trials to evaluate its specific ability to manage cardiovascular risk factors like blood pressure and inflammation.
And when you pull together all the data from massive meta-analyses, the results are striking. This isn't just folklore. Aged garlic extract shows real, measurable, and consistent cardiovascular benefits across multiple clinical trials. It's having a tangible, documented impact. To translate that complex data into everyday takeaways, AGE acts as a powerful vasodilator and anti-inflammatory. It gives a modest reduction in systolic blood pressure and lowers triglycerides by over 22 points. It also significantly drops TNF-alpha, reducing major bodily inflammation, and it increases nitric oxide activity to help relax your blood vessels. Though researchers definitely note these effects are highly dose-dependent, so the specific amount you take really matters. Finally, Part 6, Navigating Your Health Information. We've covered a ton of clinical data today, and that brings up a really important point. As this quote points out, doing your own internet research is empowering, but oversimplified medical jargon online can easily cause major anxiety. You look up a symptom and suddenly you're staring down a worst-case scenario. We absolutely must combine our internet research with real-world professional guidance to get the full, accurate picture. So, I'll leave you with this. Are you relying entirely on internet searches for your health, or are you partnering with a medical professional to apply these daily habits? Information is power, but it's all about how you use the insights from this explainer to take actionable, guided steps toward living well for the long haul. And please remember, this content is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always talk to your doctor, apply the science, and age like a pro.